watching Moms Matter right here at EverTalk TV, and I have actress and podcaster and reporter of Motherhood in Hollywood, Heather Brooker, right here in the studio to talk about how she juggles and manages all of it. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. You have this great platform called Motherhood in Hollywood. I follow you on Instagram. I've been to your website. You've got a great podcast. And you have a 6-year-old daughter. And you're also a reporter for NBC.
Yes, all of it.
So how are you smiling and looking so beautiful and sitting next to me right now?
Well, you know, every day, as you know, as a mom, you kind of go with the flow. Different things come at you, you know, and you just learn to juggle. A lot of people hate the word balance, but I actually sort of embrace it because if I didn't have some kind of balance, then my life would be chaos. So I have to purposely plan out activities and things to do with my daughter, but then I also plan, you know, time for work and work activities. And I've been doing my podcast and my, you know, Motherhood in Hollywood stuff for so long now that that's sort of like on autopilot.
Right.
The biggest challenge for me is figuring out how to grow, where I want to go next and what to do next, because that's what seems overwhelming. Right now, I'm just sort of like, okay, I've got everything. I'm good right now, but what if I want to grow or get bigger? Where do I go? What do I do? So, yeah.
And doing that with a 6-year-old daughter.
Yes.
And finding the time for her.
Yeah.
And finding the time for you. And finding the time for work, I find to be extremely challenging.
Yes.
So how do you compartmentalize it? How do you divide up your time?
I mean, that's a great way to put it. You kind of have to. You know, for a long time, I didn't have full-time childcare. It was me. And I got to the point last year when she started kindergarten, and her kindergarten got out at noon. Oh. It was so brutal. I was like, what kind of kindergarten is this? And I needed help. So I finally reached out and I got a part-time nanny because there are truly days when I just couldn't miss a work event or a red carpet something or whatever, and I needed help. And I think the biggest challenge that we have as moms is to be willing to say, I need help and I need an extra body here. I need some extra hands, whether that be from a good friend, whether that be from a part-time nanny or whatever you need just to help a little bit. And I'm getting better about that. I used to feel like I needed to carry the world on my shoulders and do everything myself. Right. But I'm definitely getting better now about being like, I can't do this, please help me.
Right, and that's huge. And I think that's a huge lesson through the journey of motherhood to learn that you do need to reach out for help.
Yeah, and there's no shame in that either. There's no shame. Nobody is perfect. Like, we are superheroes, we are super women, but the biggest strength that we have is bringing on a team of people to help us, an army to help us. Like, Wonder Woman doesn't do it all by herself.
Right.
She is in the squad. My husband will kill me for not remembering what it's called. It's the Justice League. That's what it is.
Right.
Oh my God. I almost said Avengers and then like everybody would have like killed me. Totally different group. But yeah, no superhero does it by themselves. They have their team.
Yeah, you need a tribe. And I've learned that through motherhood too. I mean, if you don't have your tribe and you don't have a village, there's no chance you're going to be successful.
Yeah. So that was something that I learned. That was definitely a lesson that I've learned for sure.
So that's great. So you say what's next, finding what's next. And I think that that's a question we all have as well. So you're an influencer and you've got this great following and you're a reporter and an actress, but what's next?
What's next? Yeah.
So
I think there's also a lot of pressure, and part of the reason too why I'm just sort of germinating in what I've created so far and kind of leaving it be. But especially with social media and Instagram in particular, there is this pressure to constantly be doing something next, like having your own show, writing a book, being on TV all the time. Like there's this constant pressure to be like, what are you doing next? How are you going?
Right.
And I understand that. I'm a very driven person, but I also know that I'm at my limit and I cannot add anything else on right now without letting something else go. So
that is huge. I mean, I don't know how to say that louder to know when you're at your limit.
Yes.
And to say it's okay.
And it's okay. Like we want to be everything and do everything. We live in a world now where we see all these opportunities and things are coming our way, whether it be a brand collaboration that might be coming your way, or a work event or a coffee with friends. Like something has to give. Like we cannot be everywhere at all times and do everything perfectly and well. Like something will end up suffering because of it. And I I have found for me, the thing that suffered the most was my house. My house was dirty, like, always a pit. And I found that I was spending all of my free time and my downtime cleaning my house. You know, my husband and I, instead of like relaxing, enjoying our family
Right.
time, we would spend the weekends cleaning our house. And so I had to realize, wait a minute, if I just hire somebody who can come over every couple of weeks, you know, to clean my house, it makes a huge difference. Something even that small. I had a big hang up with it though, because it made me feel super bougie. Like, who do I think I am? I have a house cleaner. Like, I wasn't raised that way. I was always raised, you clean your own house, you know, who do you think you are? But I don't live in that world. We forget that like women who are run their own business, who have their own show, who are in this world, you're the CEO of your own company. And there's no CEO of a major company that's sitting around on Saturday morning going, hey guys, I'm gonna clean my own house. Like everybody come in. Nobody's doing that because they are working smarter, not harder. They're planning, they're delegating, they're figuring out what areas do I need help in and where can I fulfill that need without adding extra stress and pressure to my life. And so that was one area that I discussed with my husband. I was like, can we do this? We figured out a plan and made a budget for it. And it has made a world of difference because now I don't feel like I'm sitting around in like a dirty house, also trying to return emails and take care of my daughter.
Right,
So
it's
like
a lot.
it's one little thing. Like if you can find one little thing to take extra stress off your plate, it can make a world of difference.
That's great advice. And I think that I've heard you speaking now that the acceptance is huge. Accepting where you are and going forward and not feeling guilty for what it is.
Right. I mean, everybody is at a different level. Like there may be some influencers and some people who have their podcasts or whatever who are like, bring it on. I can take on more. Great. Good for you. You know, I know my limits. I know myself and I am maxed out.
Yeah, and I love that. And I appreciate your honesty. And thank
Good,
you for
I'm glad.
coming on the show and
Sure,
talking
thanks
to
for having
moms
me.
and just really being real. Because I think in this world of Instagram and social media, no one's really real anymore.
No
And all we
one's
see
real.
are smiley faces and a perfect day. But, but you're bringing it, you're authentic and you're real, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks. This is great.
And you saw right here Heather Brooker from Motherhood in Hollywood. Check her out on Instagram. She's got a great website. And we will see you all next time right here at EverTalk TV.